Welcome to Monday night's All Meta Mode podcast. The gasp was because I realized I just lost Gypsy. So just one second while I call her back in. Yes. All right. I think we got Gypsy back.
Starting the show off right.
Yes. So again, hi all, and welcome to Monday night's All Meta Mode podcast with myself, Amanda Digger DeGaz, and Gypsy. There's no advertisements, nothing like that, so we'll get right into the show. So, hey Gypsy, I would say long time no see, but I finally got to see you, so
Finally got to see you after almost 2 years or more.
I know
It seemed like forever,
it
but we
did,
did it.
and it worked.
We
Finally
finally
got,
did.
yep, finally got together, and 10 days of treasure hunting.
And we had amazing weather. Got to say,
Absolutely.
we definitely had amazing weather.
It was like you brought the Texas sun with you, so that was absolutely great.
I did, and it was crazy because I got there and I was prepared for the cold and I was prepared for the wind, and I brought all these, uh, clothing to wear like in layers so I could always, you know, put my thermals on underneath my jeans and then et cetera, et cetera. And then just if I had to, if I got, to move, if it warmed up, if it was going to be really cold like last time, I could just unlayer a little. And I ended up wearing T-shirts most of the time, which was amazing. And then maybe my hoodie in the morning or jacket, and then maybe some in the evening. But it was just absolutely gorgeous. We couldn't have asked for better weather. But I will say, finally, I flew home. When I was flying home, there was a thunderstorm when I landed in Austin, and we sat on the runway for over an hour on the runway waiting for the thunderstorm to to clear. So I didn't get home till about 3 a.m. It was crazy. So anyway.
Makes for a very long day, I'm sure.
It definitely was. But, we started that day off really well. But I guess we should start from the beginning. What do you say?
Yeah, let's tell everyone about our entire adventure. I think that's a good idea.
I think so. So, yeah, everyone, I flew in to Maine, and Amanda picked me up. It was late that night, and we got in, and we decided we, like crazy women, treasure fever. We definitely had treasure fever, button dump fever. And so we drove, how many hours?
That was, I'm not sure, 3 hours?
At least 3, maybe a little longer. But, yeah, so we got there, took a little bathroom break, packed the car, and, what time did my plane arrive? I think around 11:30.
Yeah, so by the time we got back to Maine, it was almost 1 o'clock. So then we loaded up
Yeah.
the truck and got, everything basically in the truck because I had left the truck empty so that way I could put Gypsy stuff in and then throw all my gear in on top. And by the time we looked at the clock, it was almost 2 o'clock. And it was one of those deals where you kind of look at each other and go, okay, we want to be there at sunrise. Do we try to go to sleep for a couple of hours in Maine, or do we just hit the road and nap, stop if need be? And we're like, let's hit the road. So we did. We hit the road, and I could tell you for 100% certain if you are in New England, those signs that say that there are gas stations that are 24 hours, they are a lie.
Right. We had to stop a few times, for our little breaks, but we had a great time just chatting and chatting about what adventures awaited and where we were, what our plans were. So we talked the whole way there, and when we finally got there, that's about the time I think the sleep deprivation started.
Yes.
We ended up pulling into, was it a Dunkin' that morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
Trying to get
Dunkin'.
gas.
Yeah. Yep.
Gas. We're looking for a gas station.
Yeah, 4 a.m. Well, we pulled in at 3:50 and like the lights were on and the gas station said it was 24 hours and the gas station was not open. Like it was two separate buildings. And we saw that Dunkin' had its lights on and we're like, all right, maybe Dunkin's is open. We can get a coffee or something. And then I went around front and I'm like, all right, the sign says 4. I'm like, oh. So we sat in the parking lot and then managed to get in. Yep, they were actually open at 4 a.m. And the crazy part though was actually getting down. We were only 10 minutes from like our digging spot, and my eyes started doing those like, okay, I can't do this. I looked at Gypsy. I'm like, I'm sorry, we have to stop. Like, pulled into like another gas station that had like a around the side store type thing with like that wasn't too bright, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna nap for a few. uh,
Yeah, she dozed off and napped for a few. I might have dozed off, but she definitely slept a little. But I don't know if I dozed very long, and then I was awake, and then she was like, finally she woke up, and then we drove on to the spot. We got just a really mini cat nap in, just enough to, subside us for a little while, and then we drove straight to the spot, and it was still dark, or the sun was just coming up, so it was um, it was a little dark to even get out there and dig, so we sat there for a few minutes
we
in the
did.
car.
But Bill
But
asked, he asked, did you guys make it to the button dump?
so yeah, that's where we finally made it, and once we got there, once it finally got light enough, we got down there and started digging. And we were having a hard time finding just the right spot where we wanted to dig. She showed me where her and her buddy Scott had dug some silver coins at the button dump in a different spot. And we kind of scooted around, and we wound up kind of where we did before 2 years prior, and ended up digging a few buttons there. But I got a bucket lister, or should we say wish list. We're changing it from, we're changing the terminology there from bucket lister to wish list.
Yeah,
it,
just has a better ring to it.
it does. It does. So I got something that I don't even think I've posted yet at all.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't think I have posted it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Should I tell them?
Yeah, tell him.
All right. So we're digging in the button dump, and we dug a few buttons, and we're digging kind of in the spot close to where we've already dug before, and I'm sure many diggers have dug before. And I pulled out part of a pipe stem. This is my very first, and it even has a little piece of the bowl on it. So it has part of the bowl and the little piece of the stem where the little resting, what do you call that little thing? It comes down.
The heel.
The heel part, and then part of the stem. And yeah, I was just ecstatic because you don't find them. It's a rarity that I've seen people in Texas pull the old pipes. You know, like they find, if you watch the mudlarking videos and stuff, and like Amanda's found many old pipe stems where she mudlarks and stuff before. But it was my very first, so I checked one on my wish list. So
Yeah.
I checked one off, so I was really excited about that.
Yeah, you managed to
And
actually check off quite a bit of your, well, not quite a bit, but quite a few.
I did. So yeah, I'll let you continue the story there. Uh,
The
what we
button
did
dump
from there.
the button dump was actually good to me as well. I was cleaning up some of the better buttons that I had put in the case, and I realized that out of the 12 really good buttons, five of them were ones I did not have before. So that was real,
Five.
yeah,
Wow.
five of them. One of them I'm actually pretty excited about. It's an IRT co, and it stands for Interborough Transit Company. So that's the original transit system in New York that opened in 1904. So that was a really neat,
Really?
yeah, yep. So you know how we find like the motorman and the poleman and the railroad buttons. So this is the actual first I have of the original transit. So that
That is
was pretty neat
so
to me.
cool.
Yeah,
And when you get those photos, if you will, send them to me because when I put my button dump video, I haven't cleaned my buttons yet. They're still in my little case and my bag. Um, I've unpacked most of my stuff and most of my finds, and some of my finds, my bottle finds, Amanda's actually mailing to me. And so I don't have all the photos for those yet either. But yeah, I'm still kind of unwinding slowly from the trip, so I haven't had a chance to clean up all my finds. Um, but yeah, we found some really neat stuff at the button dump, some really neat buttons. I know I did get what was it, a Civil War Eagle button.
you did.
Um,
Yep. You got
and
a
what else?
religious pendant.
Oh yeah, I did get a little religious pendant. It's not silver or anything, but it was cool. I still have yet to really look at it too either. Uh, so yeah, I've got a lot of finds to clean up from just the button dump alone. And we really didn't stay. How many hours did we stay at the button dump?
Oh, we actually were probably there for 5 hours, maybe.
Yeah, we kind of
So
skipped around a lot, but yeah, about 5 hours, and then I'll let you tell them if you want to go ahead and tell them the rest of that.
I don't think he's listening right now, but a huge thank you to Scott. He brought us to one of his sites, which he's found some pretty amazing things at. I think we were probably had dug at the dump for more than 5 hours actually, because like, and then running on 30-minute sleep, and it had said it was only supposed to be 60. And so we had both dressed in layers and pretty warm, but it got up to what was it, 86?
86.
So we were pouring sweat. We had been digging the whole time. And he's like, "Oh, come out. I'll show you a place." And mind you, it wasn't that far of a walk, but it was pretty good walk, pretty good clip into the woods. And at that point, I don't think we'd eaten yet at all.
Uh-uh. No,
Thankfully, we
we.
had definitely been drinking water and whatnot, but yeah, doing the stupid crazy, I'm gonna find treasure instead of taking care of oneself while finding treasure. So he brings us out there, and then sadly he had to head out, but we were allowed to dig, and he's like, on that side I haven't really done much. So by the time that we actually got to the other side that he hadn't done much, it was like almost dusk, which in seems like in New England right now when it's almost dusk and it's been warm, the mosquitoes come out in full force. And didn't bring our sprays with us. We're pouring sweat, cobwebs across us, covered in dirt from the dump, dirt from we have leaf litter in our hair from going through like, does it just as much as me. We get in those like areas that you don't think other detectors might go. So you've got like those low trees, the pine trees that are all together grouped. Oh no, we're pushing through them, going in between. Um, and sadly, I think I got some crazy iron, wrought like cast iron thing there, and I have to find it. It's in one of the many bags I haven't gotten to yet, and it's like a spiral that looked like it has a so when you find flatware sometimes that had bone or wood handle, you'd have it have almost like a spike on it. That's what this
Ooh,
had, but on the top part it was a spiral. So I was pretty excited to clean that up and figure out what it was. And then you found,
pocket
um,
part of a pocket knife
yeah.
and just other odds and ends. I think there was a little buckle. Um, Nothing too exciting. No colonial coppers. Is of course what I was hoping for. Buttons there. Um, but tell him what happened. Like what it was a week after we left.
Oh
Tell him
yeah.
what happened.
So we're up at Digstock, and I think I'm out in a field. I'm pretty sure, well, I was out in the field most of the time there. And I get a message from Scott that he was in the exact area that we had gone to when basically our energy was at an all-time low. And he's like, I think you got three state coppers or a state copper and two large cents or it's just something. We're like, dirty dog, ended up should have gone to the other side first.
Yeah, we should have started there instead of closer to that cellar hole. But it was fun, and we appreciate you, Scott, if you're listening or if you do listen. Thanks for bringing us, and hopefully someday we'll get to dig again together with you in the future. But we had fun. After that day, needless to say, we were beyond exhausted, and I don't even remember what we ate that night. Did we get burgers or something to the drive-thru?
I think we
Do you
ended up
remember?
yeah, we went to check in because it was like 2 hours past check-in, and
Oh,
they're like,
yeah,
"Your room's not
that's
ready
right.
yet." They're like, "You can go sit in the lounge." I looked down at myself and I'm like, "You don't want me sitting in your lounge right now."
We're filthy right now.
Yeah, I'm like, "Well, how much longer for the room?" They're like, at least another hour." I'm like, "Son of a." So, I think we found that the closest place to go eat because I was trying to find we were staying at a hotel that was close to that site, but yet kind of halfway to the site we were going in New York, because that's where we were headed the next day. So I think the hotel wise anyway. So the closest thing was a Wendy's. So we we went to the Wendy's, but
Yeah, that's what we ended up doing. So
oh,
yeah, we ended up with Wendy's and eating in the car on the way back to the motel. And then we finally we got in there, got checked in, and got cleaned up and crashed so hard.
yeah, they really. And then again, set the alarm for basically
For very
dawn.
early.
Yep, dawn the next day, and we hit the road again for it was another 3 hour trek to where we were going in New York. But thankfully, that was the stop, like the kind of the end of the long drives for at least 3 days. So we stayed in New
Right.
York for, yeah, 3 full days and hit one of my favorite mudlarking spots. So Gypsy got to visit, and this place is just incredible. It's
And I have to say that last day, she can tell you, neither of us wanted to leave, but our poor
nope.
bodies were like saying, "You need to stop. It's time to go."
Yep.
Oh
So
man.
it was one of those lifelong, you always end up finding or figuring it out on the very last day or the very last hour or on the walk back to your truck type of thing. That's what happened on the third day. We realized in a certain area, if you just stuck your little hand lash type thing into the dirt and raked it, coins just popped out.
Yeah, so
Uh,
let's tell them about the first day. So the first day we had a little contest going on.
oh yeah, yep.
So we did like, yeah, we did, and some of you might have saw our posts on social media because we posted something like, whoever finds the most marbles that day, the loser has to buy dinner. So it was very close. I think every day that we did a challenge.
Yes. But I was
So
ultimately the loser every day.
I don't know how, but
No,
I think
it's
I ended up. with like 6 marbles that first day, and I think you ended up having like five. So
Five
I
and a
mean, it wasn't
half.
like,
Yep,
or
five and a
five and a
half.
half. Yeah. So it was funny because we were both like neck and neck most of the time. Like she would be winning, and then it was like boom, all of a sudden I'd get lucky and find what we were looking for. I think the second day or third day was or was it coins or
Um,
buttons?
the first day was marbles. The
Coins.
second day was coins. Yep.
So coins, and the first day she finds a silver mercury gun.
Yeah, just sitting
The
on
very first
top.
day,
Yeah, sitting in.
sitting on top of the ground. Do you remember what date that was? 40 something?
It actually it's actually all in front of me. It is a 43.
Wow. So yeah, she gets a silver coin, and that's what we would do is every day we would throw things out into the universe. Like today we want to find, let's see, we want to find a silver coin, we want to find marbles, we want to find a lead soldier. That was like number one on both of our lists for I don't know how long.
Yes.
A toy soldier, because she had been to this spot before, and I know one of the locals had you said had found some lead soldiers and handed them gifted to you and
Yep.
John.
Yep.
So
I just wanted to find my own, but sadly,
yeah.
the universe misunderstood the assignment, and I just kept getting legs or an arm.
That's what happened to me. So yeah, me and one of my other friends that I local dig with, we've been gotten to where we do that every time. And if you watch one of my latest videos where her and I are digging in the dump, we kind of throw those things out in the universe. Say, hey, today I would love to find, and I wanted to find a real gun. I don't know why. I just something I wanted to find,
Yeah.
and in the dump. And I know Amanda's found some before mudlarking in her spots. Well, I wanted to find a real gun, and so I threw that out and whatever else I wanted to find that day. And that day I ended up finding toy guns, even a plastic toy gun. And then just I wanted to find a silver coin, and I get a token, not even a real coin. I thought it was a coin at first, and it was something close, but not quite what I'd thrown out to the universe. So I've noticed you have to specify exactly what you want. We're still wishing for that. Our wish list consists of still the gold coin, of course, and
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
other stuff. But it was fun to do that each day, kind of like a little challenge. And so the first night, I think you ended up getting us New York pizza.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was.
It was a new. You go ahead.
Yeah, it was Sicilian. No, I was gonna say. So when we were at Digstock in 2019, we had asked, the locals around there, where's the best pizza place? Thinking, New York pizza. Well, everybody's response was Pizza Hut. Well, I have a Pizza Hut, 20 minutes from me. I didn't want Pizza Hut. I wanted real,
Right?
real New York pizza, but we were close to the city. So yeah, we actually got we got true Sicilian pizza. So that was the New York square pizza that's the thicker. So yeah, I lost in marbles by a half a marble to Miss Gypsy, which, if you're going to have someone come visit and go to places that you tend to visit, you can get to more frequently. Honestly, I'd rather have it that way, that you found more or you found this, because I have that opportunity to go there more often. So what a great way to like have you up and like have these, little challenges each day. It was a lot of fun. So
It was so much fun, but the people that really know me, and I know that you and I know each other mostly virtually. We've dug together in the past once, and then this is the second time. But if you really get to know me, I'm not a competitive person.
no.
I've never been a competitive person, so I'm sitting there rooting her on, and she's all freaking out one day because she's digging like, okay, finally we had the coin challenge. So the
Yes.
next day was the coin challenge. So the first day, remember, she finds the silver Merc. And I'm like, oh, I got to find a coin. And I'm putting it out in the universe. I got to find a silver coin. I got to find a silver coin. So finally we start scraping in these little areas where we see a lot of metal that has settled. And we start scraping. And finally I scrape a coin, and it was a penny. And then I scrape another one, and it was a penny. And so I beat her with 2 pennies because I think she ended up, we made it coins and tokens.
Yep. And
We added tokens. She found a token, but I beat her with 2 pennies. Come on, her token totally trumped my pennies. But they were very worn, wheat pennies.
Yep.
But then after we learned how to do that, the next day, the challenge was buttons, and I don't even think we ever counted that.
No.
By that point, we were like, who cares? We win.
Plus, we were racing the clock to get. So the third day, we knew we had to be back in the truck by a certain point to get back to Maine. So we knew we were going to be basically digging all morning, had to get in the truck, fight traffic, and make it back to Maine by a certain point in time too. So
yeah. So she set an alarm on her phone, and so it was going off,
it was
warning us it's time to start heading that direction. We're sitting there scraping, and she goes, "You're going to hate me." I said, "Why?" She goes, "I've already scraped like 6 or 7 coins, and now I've lost count." And she had this message where she was scraping these pennies, and it was wheat penny, wheat penny, wheat penny, wheat penny, wheat penny, wheat penny. And then, boom, she got an Indian. What year was that?
1904.
1904.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then 3 tokens.
And three tokens. I was like, man, she is just like, so I'm like, okay, I got to do some more scraping. So I went over there and started scraping. And sorry, I ended up, I think I ended up with 2 or 3 more pennies finally. And then I was like, still putting it out in the universe. I need a silver coin. I need a silver coin. And boom, it was like, 5 or 10 minutes before we're getting ready to leave.
Yep.
Your alarm had probably already went off once. And I finally get a silver Merc. I got a silver Merc, and I think it's right. It's dead. I think it's 1920 on the dot. I think
that's what it was. No, I thought that's what it was.
That was the other Merc I found, which we'll get to that. We haven't got to that. the main thing. Anyway, so I got a Merc. I don't remember exactly what date, but yeah, I think it was 1920.
Yeah, you got your silver.
I finally got my silver, and I was happy and content, and then the rest was just all, wonderful, because we were getting everything from jewelry to she's got this super Hawkeye for tiniest little beads. I didn't have the patience, and I'm a very, very patient woman. So I was like, I love beads, but I don't love them that much. If there's a bead that just reaches out and grabs me, I will pick it up. But I was too busy looking for the marbles and the real pretty glass shards and, anything else. I'm so attracted to metal, it's not even funny. Anything metal.
Those little beads bring you to the gemstones. And so I know it's been, I think, 4 years now of mudlarking, and I've found tons of gems, but I've found 4 real ones, 4 real diamonds. And I mean, kind of like that, and that's not including the pendant that I found the first day with you that ended up testing positive on the diamond meter thingy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She found this gorgeous little thing, and we're still, I don't know if you tested the metal. It's very ornate. It's small, like maybe earring size, and we're not sure if it's white gold or silver,
Yeah.
but it's one of those. It's definitely a precious type metal.
Yep.
It in her little diamond chips in there. Those little diamonds tested diamond.
Yep.
So I know you were excited about that, and I was excited for you, and it was just a beautiful piece. And I got a little, what was it, a A? I think
Yeah.
the letter A with
Yep.
some stones
I
in it.
just bagged it up
But
for you
mine,
to go in the mail to you.
did you? Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't even, I pulled out one of my finds today. One. Remember that tag I found that has the writing on it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I still can't read it all. I've tried. I soaked it in a little COR, and I'm like, I don't want to soak it too long. Anyway, I can't read it all. I don't know what it says. I want to know what it says so bad. It's bothering me.
It's taken a lot to clean some of these things because it is brackish water. It's you know, it's gross. The stuff was burned. I mean, there were honestly being out with you, you're a very positive person. I think we together we're both very positive, putting it out in the universe. And I had put two things that were on my wish list that I ended up with, and one was the military dog tag that I did find,
Mm-hmm.
and then that ID
Mm-hmm.
bracelet. So right there, first leg of the journey. We haven't even gotten back to Maine. We haven't even gotten to dig stock yet. And we're already finding things that were like, yes, on the wish list. Like,
It was crazy. I mean, we really did not want to leave, but our bodies and time was out.
yeah,
It was just like we had just gotten our groove on, and we knew just how to dig and scrape this in the right spots. And we were popping out coins and popping out jewelry and popping out all kinds of really cool stuff, which we will see in a full video. I recorded some of her finds and some of my finds, not everything because there's just too much to record.
there was too
And
much.
so when I get a few more pics from her, and I'll have a few more pics, I'll put the video together, and I'll be having it on my YouTube channel. And you want to tell them what happened next after we left New York?
So, on the way of leaving New York, I had a wonderful New Yorker pull up next to us and scream that the Red Sox suck because I have a Red Sox sticker on my truck. So Gypsy thought
I
that was
forgot
pretty
about that.
funny. Yep. We made it back to
Oh,
Maine. It was like 8 or 9 at night, which wasn't actually too bad. The traffic, the little GPS just kept adding hour after hour because of accidents and construction, and we're like, what in the world? So it was supposed to be a 5 hour drive, and I think it ended up being a 7 or 7.5 hour. It was 7 hours of a drive. Thankfully, we had a break. We had a break in the day, the days. We got back on Tuesday night. Wednesday, there's a place in Maine that I've been eyeballing for years. I finally had the guts, and I got the phone number and called him up, and he's like, "Yeah, go for it." So brought Gypsy to a permission that was brand new to me, brand new to her. I had been obviously dying to go there. It's a place that it definitely has a lot of history. The house itself was built around the Civil War. The ground itself, though, it's in old settlement area. So, and our towns
dating
were
back to
settled
the
in,
1600s,
yeah,
I guess.
1630s, 1650s. So, yep, we got to sleep in a little bit. Which was great. No alarm to get up in the dark. And yeah, we hit that main site, and this is where you need to tell the listeners the crazy you found.
So yeah, so she told you a little bit about the property and the house. So the house is there, and then behind the house is a big old barn, and to the left, I couldn't see. I could see that there was something. I thought it might have been an old structure, but it was all grown up. And I was like, there's something over there, Amanda. I don't know what it is. And she went over there and looked, and it was an old cemetery on the property. And then behind the barn in the back part was a huge field. And then to the left, as you enter the property, was another field outside of past the barn. And so we both started detecting the yard and close by the house. And I think the very first thing I dug, which I looked it up, it's pretty cool, that pub thing I found. Remember that
the pale
ale thing?
Yep.
The pale ale thing. And I think the company started in like 1850-something or 60-something. I looked it up last night. I thought that was cool. The old beer cans or whatever it was, ale cans. But I haven't found quite what I found, like a lid, or I don't know what it was. Could even have been a coaster, I guess. Anyway, that was like my first find there, and then started finding trash, modern trash, and then we started getting clad coins and stuff like that. So I decided to go out towards the barn, and I started getting old lantern parts and odds and ends and a pocket knife and, even like a parasol little thingy out there. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting to the old spot. And then she had, I think, went out back and was exploring the back field to see if there was anything in it. And I went out there, and I thought I had found an Indian, and I think it's so hard to tell. It was so green and pretty, and I think it turned out to be a weedy, but I'm still not even sure. It's so wiped. But out in that field. And so then I was like, I'm not finding anything hardly out here, so I'm going back to, I told her, we met up, and I said, I'm going back to where I was finding that old stuff. So I started in around there, and in between the barn and where the old cemetery is, kind of in that in-between area, there's the field kind of drops down, and I popped what I thought was a coin. Well, it was a coin, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like a largie. And Amanda, I don't even know where she is. She's way out on the other side of that field. So I went ahead and videoed it, and it turned out we're pretty positive it's a half penny that's been made either into a button or maybe a whizzer, and that's what they call it.
Yep, whizzer toy.
The wizard toys, where they would punch 2 holes in the coin and then make it in tied strings in there and do some sort of, I don't know, it was a toy that a homemade toy they would make with these coins. And we looked in the coin book, because the red book usually has the exact size. And we kind of think it possibly could be, a Vermont half?
Nope, Massachusetts half cent.
Massachusetts half
and
cent.
It's not
so
far.
It's half cent.
Yep, and it's not far from where I found the last Massachusetts half cent. So.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's really cool. It was pretty worn. I haven't cleaned it up except for just brushing it off with the brush. That's it. I haven't looked through it through a loop, but it looked pretty waste.
Yeah, we got the horrible fertilized fields, which makes it very sad.
Lovely manure fertilized fields that you can smell.
Yeah, when you're digging. Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, so like I have found that a half cent before, but a repurposed half cent for you to come up and knock it out of the park, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely a wish list item for me. I was so excited. One other thing that I got, and I got an ox knob, and we just don't find them here, in Texas. And I got my first ox knob, and I was like, I recorded it, and then I went back and I showed her later when we met up, and she's like, yeah, that is an ox knob. And I was just like, yay. So anyway, I got another thing off the wish list. So I was super happy, and then I went back to the yard and I got another silver coin.
Yeah.
Um, just go watch the video, and you can see all the details. The video for the main hunt is on my YouTube channel, and it's the latest video that I posted. Go check it out. It's only like 10 minutes. It was just from that one short permission that we hunted. You see what Amanda found too. And anyway, I had a blast. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was great too because after the fact, I've, talked to that property owner and a couple others, and those properties are golden to continue detecting. So that was awesome. So you were the push I needed to lock those sites up. So, and
That's
then
awesome. I'm excited.
yeah, so we'll get to the big event. So thankfully the next day we had off. That was again another traveling day, and we headed up to Digstock. So where we were a lot further south, and actually again the weather was saying it was going to be cold in Maine, it was going to be cold in southern New York, it was going to be cold in northern New York. All of it was a lie. All of it. It was all relatively warm. I mean, Digstock, you have the wind. Those fields, I don't think it
The
matters
wind, yeah.
where you
One day there
are,
was really bad wind, yeah. The
but it was
Garrett tent blew
nice.
away.
Yes. Well, is that because we didn't do it right? We didn't set it up and
Maybe we didn't pin it down like we should, but Amanda and I ended up getting there before the Garrett team got there, and us, and with the help of some other Dig Stock friends that we met there on site, helped, and our friend Zola, and let's see who else, Rachel, just to name a few, kind of helped us put those tents together. So we got that set up, and Amanda was giving away her find, her little treasure bag she had full of goodies. And I hope some of you that attended got to get one of her little treasure goodies. And I hope you got to come by the booth and talk to me or see me at some point out in the field. I know we both got to meet and got our photo with so many friends.
so
And
many
one of
people.
our loyal listeners that I'm sure is in chat tonight.
He is.
Awesome. So sorry I'm not in chat. My computer's still down, which is on my list to do this month. So Bill Hayes, we got to finally meet him in person,
Yes.
had our photo with him, talked to him. He's even in part of my video that'll be coming out for the Dig Stock video. So y'all be sure to say hi to him. It was great to finally meet him in person. And then I think he even found a largie at Dig Stock too out in the field, along
Yeah, he
with some
did.
other really cool finds. So we got to see some amazing finds come out of the fields that week. It was just a blast. The best part to me was just getting to see everybody and to hang out, even though we actually hung out less at Dig Stock than we
Yes.
did, before and after, but we still got a little time.
Yeah. Well, we knew that was going to happen anyway because we kind
Yeah,
of both get pulled in different directions, which is absolutely fine. Like it happens.
yeah.
Luckily, the meet and greet we got to hang out a good portion of the time. Um, you signing autographs and yeah, the goodie bag, picking from the Degas treasure trove.
Right.
Gosh.
It was so much fun. And I had that nice surprise of, I couldn't believe I even signed a few of them as well
Yeah.
as the new Garrett catalog. I was on the cover and I was like, oh my gosh, that was a nice little surprise. Um, so I recently I was talking to a family member that I'm going up in a few weeks to go to East Texas to speak at some trader clubs up there. And I was talking to my aunt, and she said, "Bring some of those and autograph them
Awesome.
for us." That's so weird. Uh, but
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, we had a blast at Dig Stock, and we found some cool stuff. I
yeah.
did get another thing, an ox shoe was another thing that was kind of on my wish list because I find horseshoes galore here in Texas, but I never found an ox shoe, and I found part of an ox shoe.
Yeah. Yep. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to point out about Dig Stock?
Um, I know that they are going to be really, if you don't follow Digstock Talk, I think it is, or Digstock Events, let me go look quick.
Oh
They
yeah,
are,
they go
yes.
ahead.
No, you go right to town.
I was just going to say I saw a post today that they're going to be announcing the kind of a smaller dig stock in North Carolina, and I think it's a limit of 200 people.
Yep.
So, yeah,
I just
I would
shared
love to go
their
to that.
I shared their Digstock talk, and then they have a Digstock events page, which I'm going to share to the chat as well. They're both on Facebook, and they will have the information of the tickets and the pricing and the dates and all that jazz. I think it was March 20th to the 25th. Um, Obviously, they haven't said where it's going to be except for North Carolina. So already planning out 2022. So that's pretty
Wow,
awesome. Yeah, pretty awesome. Nice to
that
see
is.
events, popping up for the future. So that's good. That's good. I know that we're getting close to the end of the hour, and I know that we had that giveaway. So,
Yeah, so before we tell you kind of the ending of our trip, let's go ahead and do our first giveaway. So we're going to be giving away a zero discrimination YouTube channel, Detecting with Gypsy, beanie, little beanie hat to keep you warm this winter, keep your head and ears warm.
I'm already
I
wearing one.
posted a, how are you?
Yes.
Well, so we're going to give one of those away tonight, and you have a chance to win. What did we say? 1 through 100, 200. Don't post the number yet, because Amanda's got to do this herself because I'm not in chat.
Yep.
We're going to do the first person to guess the number that we have pre-decided. I've got it written down. She's got it written down. So, but she's going to be my eyes too. So go slow. Guess one time. One time. One time.
Guessing is
Not 100
open
times.
between numbers 1 and 200. And
All
I'll
right.
be watching chat. So this is for a zero discrimination beanie, and it's awesome. I really like mine.
Awesome. So
I like mine.
I gave Amanda a beanie and a hat. And then she's got an extra hat. Somehow I left extra hats there. So
Oh,
we're going to
Bill
give away one of those
Bill
tonight.
Hayes,
Bill.
you just won
Oh, woohoo, Bill. Way
with
to
number
go. That's awesome.
153. Nice work.
Awesome. That's right on the money. That's the number I wrote down. I mean, she wrote down. So that is perfect. So we've got you down for the beanie, and I've got the beanie. So, Bill, if you will, send me or Amanda your address. I'm sure we have it somewhere, but it's probably too far to look back. So send it to me again, and I'll get that shipped out to you, Bill.
ORH. Come on now.
What did he say?
He said it's rigged.
It's rigged.
Nope.
He is one lucky guy, but you
He
know what?
is.
We got some loyal listeners, and if it couldn't go to a better person, I'm proud for you, Bill. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, so the next one is a zero discrimination baseball hat. It's awesome. It's like gray with her logo on it. It's very comfortable, absolutely love it. But yeah, somehow cleaning up after Gypsy left. And I mean, even to the very last day, we got back. And then the next day, I'm like, you know what? I can't have you leave without actually seeing all the spots that I've been mudlarking that I'm constantly talking about on the show. I need to drag you to them. And she's had it out in the universe about, what is it, creams? You wanted old milk, embossed milk jugs?
Um, so me and my friend Zola, which we're going to have her on as a guest soon, that I dump dig a lot with and metal detect with. She's local. She's only been detecting for about 2 years. Her and I have been on a quest, and we find more broken milk bottles than any one thing around. Always broken, never a hole. We have never once found a hole. So a few weeks ago, I was out metal detecting in Oklahoma, and she sends me this video, and she's so freaking excited. She found a beautiful embossed milk jug hole in our bottle, and she has been like on cloud nine since about that bottle. Anyway, and I still yet to find one. So I put it out in the universe. I would love to find one, especially when we were in New York. And I really didn't expect to find one when we went back to Maine and to your spots, local spots. And boom, I ended up, well, no, I did find some in Brooklyn. That's right. I found
Yeah.
two. I forgot. I did. I found
Yep.
a half pint size and then a whole size. But then the epic one came later when we went to one of Amanda's spots before we left home. It was the day I was flying out. That we went
Yep.
that morning before I flew out that evening.
Yeah, you got two that day. You got a half pint, one of the little small
Oh,
ones,
I
and then
had
a half
barely
quart.
scraped. Yeah, I had
Hmm.
barely scraped. So I guess I ended up with what,
Yeah, I think it was a
three
total
or
of
four.
four. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, put it out in the universe.
Yes.
What you want,
All
and
right.
maybe it'll come true.
I
We
sidestepped that giveaway, so sorry, sorry, y'all. Got carried away. So, all right. So, yes, after Gypsy left, we realized there was an extra zero discrimination gray, like baseball hat. Um, so, we're going to do that again, 1 to 200. So, whoever guesses first, the number that we both have written down that we decided pre podcast, we'll get that. So, if you want to go ahead and start guessing. And Aggie, it was one of them was Badger Farms in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's my favorite. If you go to my TikTok channel, I just posted the video, a short clip of that, and you can see Amanda in that video too.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you are.
Ah,
She's like,
wonderful.
uh, so many times I would catch her, and I'm like pointing the camera at her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, again!"
Well, it also didn't help. Like in the last hour, we were finding all the best things, like no matter where we were in the last hour. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you can't stop
it
to
was killing
video.
us.
We only have an
It was
hour.
it was killing us to stop and video, yeah, because it would take up time, and we were like, oh, we were so close. And so I try to kind of quick video as we go, but I still didn't get, I don't think I got everything
And you all can
because it
keep
was just too much.
you all can keep guessing. None of the numbers so far are correct. So
So I guess another one time.
if once we get to a point, I'll just be like, just keep guessing until someone gets the number right.
Anybody yet?
Negatory. Not yet. So right off the bat, I have to thank all our new listeners. We really do appreciate you. All our loyal and longtime listeners, we appreciate you as well. Definitely great to see all the different names in chat. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad some of you, I see, we met some of you at Digstock. So really great that you came over and checked us out this evening. Usually we have guests, but we figured with everything going on and so much to talk about, we didn't really want to have a guest and then, kind of still want to share our travels that we had because that's not really fair. We didn't want to talk over somebody else. We do have a good list of guests that will be joining us here soon. But again, we're every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're listening on one of the many other avenues or platforms that podcasts are on, if you join Spreaker.com, you can join us in chat when we're live and be part of these um, giveaways and things like that and be part of the conversation. Nobody. Not yet. Still
Nobody
going.
yet?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going back through. No.
Wow. Can't believe it.
I know. It's all because, Bill with the first one, it was in the first like 2 seconds.
Wow.
Mhm.
I wish I could
Oh,
see.
some are getting closer, but not yet.
Nothing on the money.
Nope. Oh, Little Dirt Diggers. Emily with
Woohoo,
number 7.
Emily. Woohoo, lucky number 7. You did it, Emily. Just send us your mailing address and we'll get that off to you.
All right. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, very
Well,
cool.
it's been great talking to all of you. Yeah, so we just kind of basically wrapped up our trip with a little mudlarking, and you're going to probably just have to wait for the video to see what else we found. Um,
Oh,
Mudlarking
yeah.
that last day.
You did well.
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day. And we also had met up with one of her friends locals that lived right on the mudlarking spot that was about to move and who was getting rid of some stuff. So I bought some stuff for like
Oh,
$5.
yeah. Yep.
And I gave those bottle books to my friend Zola. And she was so excited. She said, I've learned so much. I've been reading them. So I'm excited. I ended up giving them to her because I figured she's just so in the bottles right now.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
her and I did get out yesterday and dug some in a dump and the day before, and it's a long story, so we're going to leave that for another time. We got kicked out of a spot, and we'll talk about that another time and see what y'all think about us getting kicked out at this location. We're still kind of like she's wanting to go back, but I think her boyfriend is like, no, you're not going back. It's too dangerous. But she even went to talk to the police after. So I'll tell you, we'll talk about that another time. But we thank you all for listening. Congratulations to our winners. And we've got some great shows coming up. And especially in the new year, we're going to kick it off with maybe some, I don't know, something great. Who knows what we've got up our sleeve, right, Amanda?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty epic. So, yeah.
I think it's going to be an epic new year, and we'll close our year with a big bang. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something special. So make sure you're tuned in on Monday nights. I will be doing a little traveling, I think, on the 8th, coming up, November the 8th. So it may be Amanda solo and plus a guest maybe.
Yep.
So, but y'all be sure and tune in and support her. And I'll be wishing I was with you all. Love you all, and we appreciate every one of you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
You all have a great night. Happy hunting.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.